First question for you, Magnus. Were you aware of the fact that this is the longest World Championship game in history? And how do you feel at this moment, breaking through, winning this game after not having won a game in over 5 years?
Yeah, I think I had the previous record as well, probably, against Anand, although that wasn't nearly as many hours. And
actually, it was Korchnoi Karpov.
It was Korchnoi Karpov still. Yeah, the one where he tried to win with the bishop and wrong pawn. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's yeah. Somebody told me after the game. Obviously, I'm elated to get this result. Was never easy, nor, I mean, frankly, should it be. A lot of the same emotions as the game that I won against Karyakin, where it was just a marathon there as well. So, but yeah, it's obviously huge.
Were you surprised in the opening? It seemed like he played this move b5 and you froze for some time.
Yeah, I did. I couldn't remember the lines properly there, so from there on I had to kind of invent things over the board. Any case, I think after that it was fairly balanced most of the time.
Yeah, and congratulations on a tough fight. I know this is not the result you wanted, of course, but can you contextualize the struggle that the game was and your feelings about it?
Yeah, well, basically I thought like I should try to play for more than a draw after the opening, because I felt like, okay, these two bishops is nice, but I mean, somehow I thought like maybe 5 and d4 instead of d4 would be interesting, but it would be like very, very unclear. So, I mean, in general, it was pretty equal game, yeah, but during the first time trouble, I guess, you know, it started to go a little bit wrong for me. And then, of course, you know, this queen e4 was unnecessary, just like play king, g6, king h7, and this is like very likely a draw. But, I mean, anyway, I would say that Magnus managed to capitalize on very few chances he got. He got this game, so that's like very nice of him. But in general, I believe even this queen against knight in rook and two pawns should be a draw. But yeah, once you play, it's basically blitz. It's, you know, if you don't know the correct setup as black, and if you maybe misplace your queen a little bit, it becomes tricky already.
Can you speak to the level of fatigue that you feel at the moment after such a long game?
Well, obviously it wasn't the most pleasant game, but I mean, anyway, life goes on, so that's not a big deal.
Magnus, you're famously fit, but this definitely tests your endurance.
Sure, but I think that's the way it is. As I said, it shouldn't be easy in a World Championship match, and you have to try for every chance, no matter how small it is. And part of it was by design at some point that I thought I should make the game as long as possible, so that we would both be as tired as possible when the critical moment came, and yeah, that turned out to be a good strategy.
Don't want to ask about too many moves, but there was a moment in the game you played rook d1 when you could have played rook c to c2, which looked after he played bishop b2. Did you see this move as a possible winning chance for you, or did you think about the move?
Yeah, it could be. That was not on my radar. I was trying to play. No, I mean, as a matter of fact, when I went for this rook d1, I just missed queen d7, and then I thought I would be in time to go rook b4 and eliminate those pawns. So that was more an oversight than anything else. Maybe if I'd seen that didn't work, I would have gone for the other option. But yeah, it was far from obvious just to give up your whole queen side like that. But yeah, maybe it wins. I don't know.
All right, we will go to the questions by the journalists.
Firstly, congratulations, Magnus. You're the first player in recent history to win a World Championship game over two days, because the game started yesterday. And my question is, this was your 51st game at World Championship, like in a match. So how much of that experience helps in these long games and wins?
I feel like today was more about experience from playing long games in general, but yeah, I would say the game today, yeah, it had little to do with World Championship experience or pressure. I don't particularly think so.
Congratulations to Magnus. You won Game 6 today, also against Vichy. 2 times you won Game 6, and historically in World Championship matches, Game 6 has seen a unusually high number of decisive results. Is there something about getting to this point in the match that pushes these decisive results, you think?
Well, that's news to me.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think it's pretty random since a lot of matches have been a lot longer as well, and so it's not about it being a midpoint of the match. Maybe it's. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty random.
This game was almost like its own mini-series, and the first episode was that first time control where you didn't have an increment. What was the mood like inside the room? Could you feel a little bit of extra tension, you being in this situation for the first time, Magnus?
Oh, for sure. But I think that's the way it's supposed to be. There should be that added element of intrigue with the clock. So obviously it's not entirely pleasant, but yeah, I think it's appropriate.
This was a very long game. Does it give you extra pleasure, Magnus, to wins after such a long time?
Yes.
My question is for both the players. One of the most critical moments of the game was when Jan played rook c8 and Magnus took on c8. There was also a possibility to play b4 at that point. Jan, why did you decide to play rook c8 there? And did you think that was a good decision? And Magnus, what is your opinion on that?
Well, rook c8 was, I believe, a little bit unnecessary, but I guess Black has a very nice play there, so at some point it became quite chaotic, but I guess rook c8 is a nice way to, I don't know, to complicate things a little bit, because I don't think Black is taking any serious risk. Yeah, but once it came to the time trouble, yeah, I mean, I believe it was in many ways to improve. So clearly, rook c8 is not the problem, you know, in this game.
Yeah, I was happy to see rook c8 in general. As you said, b4 was a move. There were probably others as well. I didn't particularly feel that I was better. And rook c8 gave me at least a target. I felt like we were both risking a bit, but I thought maybe Black was risking a bit more. It meant that we would get a serious struggle, which I was happy with.
And in the final position, when you had rook, knight and 2 pawns, the table bases show it's a draw, but did you feel like you would win that endgame?
No, I thought it was more likely to be a draw. But once I got the knight to g3 and the rook to d5, f5, I got very optimistic. Probably it was still a draw, but yeah, generally it's a draw. But it's easy to sort of be lulled into a false sense of security there. As you saw in the game, things can easily go awry.
How much will you review this game tonight? There's so many moves that are worthy of attention, or will you review it at all?
Well, I guess it wouldn't take long. So obviously, I think from both sides, play was really far from excellence. Yeah, what to do?
There will be a time and a place for that, and I don't think it's today.
First of all, congratulations on such a grueling win, and thank you both for taking the time to be here. I have a question about how late this game has ended, and in particular whether you both have a kind of daily schedule that this lateness of game will have impacted, such as, you know, we will be going to sleep later today, essentially, putting you out of a routine.
Could I please pass, you know, the first answer to Magnus?
Such a long game sort of messes up everybody's schedule, but it's why we're here, so it's fine.
I was very hungry when your game was going on, so how do you manage this food thing, you know, for 7 hours you can't have dinner? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, I was running on fumes at the end, so it's not easy.
Is it just one game, and how do you bounce back?
Hopefully in style. Yeah, but well, I mean, sometimes you make mistakes, and sometimes it's, you know, that's pretty human. You know, that's a pretty human thing. So.
And final question to you, Magnus: your experience, how significant is a win like this?
The match has been deadlocked so far, so any win that I can get is great, but it's far from over.